Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and I just finished watching the season four, three, four, three, four, season four finale of Supergirl, whatever, the current season, and it was excellent. I was shocked. I just watched the season seven finale of Arrow, and it was absolutely terrible. It was like an encapsulation of everything I didn't like about the show. The funny thing is that this Supergirl finale had everything I didn't like about the show that I dipped out. I think I've only probably watched like 5 episodes, but I mean, Supergirl was pretty bad just from the beginning. But this one was kind of fun. Now, I didn't really know the plots that much, but a lot of stuff happened. It wasn't just those little dance spin scenes they have in all the Arrow stuff. There was special effects that were good to terrible. There were performances that were good to terrible. There was a lot of really cool costumes and people looking cool. So I guess I'll jump right into it. So I saw the Supergirl, the first episode, and I saw her in like the 2 years of the crossover. And I just didn't like it for a couple reasons. Number one, oh no, actually, I probably saw maybe, I don't know, six or seven. All the ones where they had Superman, I watched those until they started to make him like a wimp so that she would look good. But I didn't like the show for a couple reasons. Number one, um, like just the origin didn't make sense. It's like she got there after Superman, and then she saw there was a Superman, so she didn't think they needed a Supergirl. It's like, what? This planet has dozens of superheroes. It doesn't make sense. And then there's this kind of like chip on her shoulder competition with her cousin I didn't like. I also felt like the actress was playing the character. The character is supposed to be like, I don't know, like 23, 24, but she portrays her as if she's like a child of six. Like she has all these overblown emotions, and she'll like eat ice cream and be like yummy nummy. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? The other thing is that the show is like insanely politically correct. So on my other channel, I talk about SJW politics and propaganda, and it kind of took me 2 years and to come up with a very very simple thesis that the problem with SJW ness in media is it makes stories predictable, which makes them boring. You can literally look at a character and judge, and look at what their race, gender, sexuality is, and you can decide if they're a good person or like you always know who the secret villain is going to be. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of virtue signaling. There's a lot of patting yourself on the back. There's also a lot of just like lazy, like, oh, the president's working with Russia. He was installed by Russia at fake news. It's like, that's topical. But this show was a lot of fun. You got John Cryer, who I've never been a fan of, ever. Like in anything he's ever been in, I've never liked him. I didn't like him in 16 Candles. I didn't like him in Superman 4. I didn't like him in uh, Two and a Half Men. The thing is, I don't like him in things where I don't like the whole show. You know what I mean? He's never been in anything good, ever. But I know, like, to a lot of, Americans, like, they're like, oh, John Cryer, I've grown up. I've grown up not liking him. He's cast as Lex Luthor, I believe, mostly just because he's, in middle age and went bald. But I was like, this guy does not seem like Lex Luthor material. But he's actually a fairly solid, I would say a solid but very, very cliche Lex Luthor. But there was like fun bits in here. He's got like that, the green and purple armor he's had since the 80s. And at one point, he's like starting a war between America and Krasnia. And the Krasnians think that he's on their side, but then he like he tells them to invade America, and then he goes up in his suit, grabs one of their missiles, throws it back at an aircraft carrier, and he's like flying around singing "My Way" by Frank Sinatra. I was like, this is stupid, but I'm having fun. Like Arrow is stupid and just annoying and boring. Supergirl is stupid and fun and funny. The other thing I like, and this is like some really, really simple stuff, all the costumes look cool. Supergirl has this armor costume to protect her from kryptonite. There was a Russian alternate universe Supergirl called Red Daughter. Her costume looked cool. The Luthor armor suit looked cool. Supergirl's sister, who's in the DEO, she's a secret agent. I used to see her in like the first and second season. She looked okay. Now they gave her this really super cool secret agent outfit. She's got a cool hairdo. She has like these false eyelashes that literally looked like they were falling off, but she looks cool. She looks like something straight out of a comic. Then they had this other guy who he played Star Killer in the Force Unleashed video games, and he was the guy. He was like the human version of Darkseid in Smallville. I forget that guy's name, but I actually like that actor a lot. And he was in. I think he was supposed to be some like speciesist, hates aliens guy. But I don't even know his deal if he's a human or whatever. But he seemed to have superpowers in some of the scenes. But he's got like his bad guy outfit, and his bad guy outfit looks really cool. So I was like, oh no, like I feel like I should hate this show, but I'm actually having a lot of fun watching it. In fact, I had so much fun, I kind of want to go like ask people if you like this season of Supergirl, which I don't know if it's 3 or 4 or whatever, it's the current one. Is there stuff that I should go back and watch from this season because I had fun? They got Miss Tessmacher and Otis. Oh, Otis was the species supremacist guy. Miss Tessmacher is in there. They introduced Leviathan, which is in the Silencer comics. Who else did they have? Dreamer, who I remember from Batman and the Outsiders, in there. And then they had a Brainiac, and I don't know. The guy seemed like a good actor for Brainiac. I like Brainiac from Smallville. That was a good version of Brainiac. But yeah, I had fun. And if you've got any suggestions for episodes from this season that would be fun or cringy in a fun way, I definitely like it. I've kind of warmed up to whatever the actress name, her version of Supergirl. Yes, I think she overacts like crazy, but she does it in an endearing way. So I'm like, so okay. Besides that, they're turning Jimmy Olsen into Nick Fury because he has an eye patch now. Some really on the nose like political allegory that was just embarrassing, but it was like 1 minute out of the show. Good effects, a good variety of shooting locations, like shooting, outside and cool stuff like that. I had fun. So if you're watching this season, let me know if there's any good or cringy fun episodes for me to go back and check. They introduced Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Crisis guy with the weird hair, and they're bringing back some Martian that I thought that he said something about Phantom, and I thought it was going to be the Phantom Stranger from DC. So I was like, oh, cool, they're going to have the Phantom Stranger, but it's just a Martian who's a call to Phantom, and I don't really know anything about Martian Manhunter. I didn't see Martian Manhunter transform into his Martian self, so I don't know if they wrote that out. There's a lot of like exposition catching you up. It's like, oh, I don't have my powers anymore, or oh, I had them temporarily, or oh, I was like, okay, I don't really care. So anyway, I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do is the final episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and nobody's really talking about Flash. I did one episode from this season. So anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, that's about it. I wasn't supposed to like it, but I did. There was another song. Oh, they had Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. And with both of these songs, it wasn't a cover band. I think it was actual Sinatra and then actual Motley Crue. That's not cheap. In fact, one of the things I was tripping out about is the other CW shows, Arrow especially, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, sometimes they can look really, really cheap. It feels like Supergirl is the show that has a bigger budget. Is that true? Does it have the highest ratings and it gets the biggest budget? I don't know. I haven't really been following these shows in a couple years. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll have another video up probably tomorrow.